Sullivan over there again from Ballygutter, also former Munster club champions in the past, and of course his older brother Billy played corner forward for so many years with Waterford. Sends it into the centre, as always the hard-working John Milan manages to get it back towards Richie Foley, swinging this across is Shane O'Sullivan, and that's wide. 3 wides for Waterford, heading towards the 20th minute of this Munster hurling final.
Yeah, we should see it settling down and opening up a little bit now. You know, the first 20 minutes, a lot of nerves. Here's Jerry O'Connor way away from the centre forward position again.
And again, the quick puck out from Donald Cusack. Great hook. Ben O'Connor just a little bit slow in delivering it long. Jerry O'Connor seems to touch the ball on the ground. Waterford chasing, not just individually, but collectively. That looks like Owen McGrath stepped over the sideline. Sideline ball for Cork. Very much the man in form, I hear, in terms of training. Owen McGrath winning his place back based on what's happening in the training fields around County Waterford.
Yeah, I think that's what players like as well. You know, if that's the, you know, it's fair on everybody. If you're doing it in training and you get picked on form, that's the way it should be. I think Dan is happy enough not to be starting to maybe come in with 20 to go and maybe grab a goal.
Battle over the far side. Comes out first Jerry O'Connor. Niall McCarthy gathered it, but it had crossed the line. It is a line ball, however. First counting. Once again, it's Ben O'Connor going to take this. Thought about a quick sideline cut, but the instruction has come, have a go. Has great height, but it's once again right and wide. Not his norm, not what we're used to.
No, it isn't, and you know, there's always be a debate about these line balls. They're great when they go over, but you know, the ball, it's a free puck way down the field when you miss them.
Kevin Moran got a hand to it. Richie Foley trying to gather it up on the stick into the left hand. This has all the ingredients of a throw ball. Here comes Niall McCarthy, bursting forward, scooping it in towards Isaki O'Halpine. Liam Lawler is there. Tony Brown nipping in. Owen Murphy challenging. Carl Nocton. There's nobody there except Declan Prendergast. Ben O'Connor arrives, but a little bit too late. Keep ball cheeky, it has to be said, by Waterford between Clinton Hennessy and Declan Prendergast. Ronan Curran fouled by Kevin Moran. Free for the Cork centre half back.
Yeah, great catch again by Ronan. Well, he fumbled it and then won it on the rebound, but Declan Prendergast had a lot of time there. You know, he just ploughed it down the middle. You know, there's loads of space inside in the corners, and that's where they should be trying to put the ball.
27-year-old John Gardner, an all-star 5 years ago. Down towards Patrick Hoare. Clinton Hennessy. Whoa, that was pretty close as Fraggy came in to challenge. Waterford survive. Good clearance down towards Richie Foley. Gets by the challenge of Carl Nocton. Goes for a long ball again. Down towards John Milan. Fouled by Owen Cadigan. Free for Waterford. It's going to be an interesting tussle, Michael, between John Milan and Owen Cadigan.
Yeah, Milan is doing well. He scored 2 points in play, got out in front again there. You know, he's getting plenty of possession, and in fairness, there's not that much ball going down to him. He just showed in front of him there. Cadigan's unlucky there. You know, I don't think he did push on the back. John knew what he was doing, got out in front, and once you get out there and bend your back, there's a good chance you get to free. It was taking a while to get going, Martin. You know, 5 points to 4 after 3 or 4 minutes. But you know, I think a lot of lads squaring up to each other, and you know, sometimes you have to win your battle on your own man before the game can open up, and that's certainly what's happening. But I think Waterford will be happy, especially with Isaki and Liam Lawler, not very few balls going in there between them, and Lawler doing well.
Owen Kelly, the umpires have a quick look at each other. Ball wide is the
Unusual
final
for him.
verdict.
Yeah, unusual for him. Doesn't normally miss frees. Neither does Ben O'Connor. So it just shows you the nerves get to everybody, no matter how long you're on the go. It's still a Munster final, and I suppose the big thing today is you're into a semi-final if you win this, and you're on the opposite side of the draw for Kilkenny. So like there is a big prize.
Johnny Ryan is now going down to the Killinen end to have a word with his umpires. Willie Cross and Michael Ferncombe. Now, what will Johnny Ryan do, having been supplied with the information? Nothing really, but store it away.
To be honest, Marty, I've been keeping an eye on it. I haven't seen a whole lot. Lawler is very, very close to Asaki, but I didn't see anything untoward going on.
25 minutes played in the first half, and Cork have not scored in the last 10 minutes. Richie Foley sets it down towards John Malone. Coming back to gather this is Brian Murphy. Driving it long, Ronan Kerr. Good hands, Niall McCarthy. Good vision, good call, Ben O'Connor. Tom Kenny has gone inside. Good move by Cork. He's going to go for the goal. Clinton Hennessy saves. Back out around the middle of the field. Richie Foley. Good hands from him. Abbey sideman. Chased by 3 Cork players. Tries to flick it into the middle. Cathal Naughton. Good calling by Sean O'Halpine. Not exactly involved very much so far, but when he arrives on the scene, there is only one Sean O'Halpine. First point in the Munster final for the left half back. 33 years of age since April. Good score.
Yeah, the 12 forwards that started the game. Ben O'Connor's got 1 point from play, and John Milan has got 2. They're the only. So we have 10 forwards who haven't scored from play yet.
Level for the 4th time. 26 minutes. Shane O'Neill fouled. Free for Cork. This is the push. That Cork half back line of Gardner, Curran and O'Halpine. 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". Dropping it into 6'7". Another O'Halpine. Asaki. Didn't quite reach it. Comes out far as Declan Prendergast. Good play. Owen Kelly. In the centre, Shane O'Sullivan. Up far as John Malone. Knocked away by Cadigan. Comes back out for his watch. It's Cadigan that has it. Sean O'Halpine calling for it. Better option is to give it to Cathal Naughton. Goes down the wing. Ger Hoey, the linesman, has his flag up. Ball across the line. Sideline ball. Well, we were expecting a thriller, but Ger Loughnane, when we went to studio before this game, said he wasn't quite anticipating that thriller. So far, we haven't got it.
No, it's very tense, and like the likes of that, they're ball straight out over the line. There's a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes being made by both sides.
Good sideline cut by Shane O'Sullivan. John Gardner couldn't get there ahead of Owen Kelly, but there is a foul on Owen Kelly, and that's going to be a free, dead straight in front of the posts, between the 45 and 65 metre line. Here's the challenge.
There's a trip there.
Ken McGrath is warming up along the sideline, and there is an anticipation that he's going to be introduced. Owen Kelly, meanwhile, gets on with the business of taking the free and taps it over the bar for his 2nd point.
Yeah, well, if the knee is okay and he's supposed to be in great form in training, why not have him on the field? One of the best players that we've seen over the last 20 years. Here he comes.
Big moment for Ken McGrath, and there is a change. Around the midfield, it's Richie Foley, who of course has that finger injury. Happened here in Semple Stadium last Sunday, the last puck of the game actually, when they were playing amongst themselves and training, and required stitches on that left finger. So how will Ken McGrath perform? Ball down towards Ken McGrath, picked up instead rather